We always knew it was going to be tough for Boro at Arsenal, but probably hoped it wouldn't be as tough as it was. Middlesbrough really were second best in virtually everything. Arsenal were too quick, too fast, passed the ball better, ran around, won the ball more, and just basically left Boro with their backs to the wall battle. You could still argue, of course, that the first goal shouldn't have been allowed because Nicholas Benter was clearly offside when Cesc Fabregas put the ball in the net. He was also obstructing Brad Jones at the time. But I think that whatever happened, even if the ref had given Boro a penalty soon afterwards for handball by Bentner from Stuart Downing's cross, I think whatever happened, Arsenal would have gone on to win the game. If they'd had that little bit of extra incentive to do something, to turn something around, they would have done it. They were better on the day all round, and really I think that from the early minutes we thought this was going to be a Boro defeat, and so it was. 2-0 at the end of the day maybe wasn't so bad, but that really didn't matter because this was a game where Boro really needed to go there and try and get something from the game. They didn't achieve that. Another game's gone by, and when you look at the other results with Hull losing and Sunderland losing, it was an opportunity there that Boro weren't able to grasp it. Maybe they did the best, but at the end of the day they're now left to 4 games left to save their skins, and it's becoming tighter than ever. We can ask ourselves if the team could have done a bit more, if Gareth Southgate could have done a bit more to make it a happier event at the Emirates. Obviously he could have changed the formation. I was a little bit surprised. I expected to see 5 across the middle with just 1 up front. If what we got was 4-4-2 orthodox. And Boro really took Arsenal on at their own game, which, alright, it was a positive approach, but to try and outplay Arsenal was never going to work. What we did need to see, even with a 4-4-2 formation, was a more lively Boro, a more effective Boro, a more determined Boro, a Boro that was going to try and win the ball more often, a bit more steel, a bit more bite into the tackle. That's what was needed, and we didn't get it. But then this Boro side has a habit of going out there and playing and hoping that playing is good enough, and this was one of those days where it certainly wasn't going to be good enough. We missed the Lee Catamol, the George Boateng, the guy who puts a bite in, the guy who wins a tackle in the first 3 or 4 minutes, knocks somebody over and shows we're on the pitch, we are here, we're going to battle, we're going to scrap, we're going to show you that if you want to win the game, you're going to have to outfight us first. There wasn't any of that, and I'm afraid without it, Boro were always going to lose the game. We are going to need that against Man U. We're going to need that in the remaining 4 games, but sometimes Boro don't always turn up with that extra bit of steel, and it costs them. Doesn't cost them every time, but it certainly cost them in Arsenal, and will probably cost them again Man U. They've got to have that bite into the tackle. It's got to be seen from the first few minutes. Without it, there's a problem, and it's difficult to really get upbeat about the performance when you don't have it, because Boro fans like to see their team play football, but they also like to see sleeves rolled up all the time. The big question now is, can Boro still stay up with 1 game less remaining? Yes, it's very much possible. It's still within their own hands. If they win the last 4 games, then there are absolutely no problems whatsoever. Gareth Southgate's come out and said they need to win 2 and draw 2 in all probability. I would think that's quite reasonable. 3 wins would be even better. Yes, it's possible, but it certainly needs an upturn in fortune, probably an upturn in commitment. I think that Boro need to beat Man U on Saturday. I think that's a tall order, but I think it's possible. They've beaten Liverpool at the Riverside already this season. 2 home games left. You've got to win your home games. They've got to take all 6 points from Man U and Aston Villa. Yes, it's a tall order, as I say, but it's there. with a capacity crowd against Man U. I think that Boro have a lot to prove to themselves and to the fans. They can do it. They've got to put on a show, they've got to put on a performance, and who's to say it won't happen if we get that. It's not about formations, it's not about team selection, it's about attitude on the day, and a lot of attitude is needed on Saturday. You have to take into account the fact that Hull and Sunderland, for example, are not performing very well. They're looking over the shoulders, they're nervous, they're edgy. All the more reason why Boro have got to show we can handle the pressure, we can continue to get points, and we can put pressure on you. Again, it's asking a lot, but it's there for the taking. If Boro really, really want it, it's up to them. You know, we're clutching at straws almost in some respects. We're hoping for performances that are better than what we've seen. It is possible, there's no reason why not. I think Boro still have a better footballing side than Hull and Sunderland put together. But without that little bit of edge, you aren't going to get an end result, and that's been the problem in the second half of the season. Still possible, still all to fight for. Got to beat Man U, in my opinion. Yes, it can be done. It's up to you, Boro.